This that is blow. Geschehen Teuke Yoshvin, and when they are before the silent Amida, that is what they blow in the order of the brachos when they are standing. Now, a person, the same person, Shetokat Kiyas the Miyushav, who blew the blowing for before the Musif, he is the same person who blows in the Shemona Esrei and when the Chazoros HaShliach Tzibur. That was the Kabbalah, the accepted practice from Rae Gann. The custom of Yisrael was to blow. In both instances, the same person blows, and you don't have to have another blessing on the second one. And if the first one somehow could not continue to blow, still the second one does not have to make a bracha. Now, Rabbeinu Menachos understands the opinion of the Rambam that if it's not an impediment for somebody else to blow everything. Because we learned that if you heard it Kia from this one and the two from that one, you fulfill your obligation. Certainly if you heard the whole sections from one person and other sections from others, you definitely fulfill your obligation. But to begin with, there is a beauty of the mitzvah that one should blow for everyone. So it's one mitzvah. And the proof, so you don't make a bracha on the tkiyas when you're is doing Chazos HaShatz, the repetition of the silent prayer, and you can't speak between the blessings that you made prior to the first blowing till after the final blowing of the second blowing, as we will learn in the continuation of this halacha. The one who starts with the mitzvah, always we tell him, you're the one who should complete it. And everything goes after, it's named after the person who completes it. Therefore, to begin with, the one who blows it, should blow also that which is done when we do the repetition, but there is no failing, it doesn't impede it if someone else blows. Rae Gann infers from the words of the Mishnah, Rosh Hashanah 32b, that the second one can blow. The second one tells others to blow. He doesn't blow himself. Hasheni, who's the person, the one who's praying Musaf, doesn't blow, but he tells others to blow. Meaning that the shliach himself should not blow, he should tell others to blow. If he does not blow, maybe he won't know to go back to his prayers. If we go to the Gemara in Brachos, in Daf 34, that the shliach tzibur should not answer Amen after Beres Kahanim. Maybe he'll become confused. He won't know where to go back to. But if he knows that he can go back to where he's up to, he can blow. He can answer Amen by the Kohanim. And Rabbeinu Menachos says that if he knows the shliach tzibur, even if he'll blow, go back to where he was up to in the prayers. Remember, they didn't have Siddurim. Machzor, the way we did, because that's Torah Sheval Peh, he is permitted to blow. But it's forbidden to speak between, even though they're separate blowings, between the blowing of the shofar before Musaf and the one afterwards. Meaning you should not speak Be'im soch, and we did so benayu, afal pisha ovar, even though he transgressed, he doesn't make a new bracha. If he did make a bracha, he transgresses on what it says in Shemot 26, to not take the name of Hashem in vain. Because bracha is not needed, it's called the name of Hashem in vain. This law is brought from the Rishonim like the Riv, Rabbeinu Sadia and Rae Gann, and they write that even on the tzibur they should be careful not to blow. Regarding the Rambam's opinion, what is his halachic record? The Mishnah understood that the tzibur, you don't say they don't have to speak, and even though the one who blows There are those who are later commentaries that write that he doesn't have to be specific not to speak. The Maimonides writes that it's more correct that the Kohen should not speak. But the Tzibur, if they did not cease to speak, you don't yell at them because it won't help anyway, they won't listen. The Rif, it's brought down Agos Maimonides, says, codifies the Halacha like the Rambam, that you do tell the person who blows, if he spoke with in the interim, that you do tell him to stop speaking. Rabbeinu Simcha writes that if the person who blows spoke, between the bracha to the end of the order, he has to make a new bracha, just like someone who speaks between the Tefillin Shel Yad, which is part of the mitzvah Tefillin, the Tefillin of Rosh, according to the Mechaber, you only make one bracha, or even according to, that you have to make a new bracha on the Tefillin Shel Rosh. Now, Agos Maimonides writes, maybe the intent of Rabbeinu Simcha is only before he concludes the entire set, but if you concluded the entire 30 blasts that were made before the silent Amidah, then he fulfilled his obligation, and if he does speak between them and the prayers, even according to Rabbeinu Simcha, he would not have to make a new bracha, as the Rambam here cites. Rabbeinu Menayach disagrees on Rabbeinu Simcha, and is of the opinion that you don't go back and make a blessing. Even if he spoke before they finish blowing, and it's not the same as someone who speaks when he puts on his tefillin. For the tefillin of Yad and Shel Rosh, each one is a separate mitzvah. And if he doesn't have Shel Yad, if he doesn't have the tefillin that put on the hand, he has to put that on the head, or vice versa. But by Shofar, after he completed blowing the 30, he has technically fulfilled the entire commandment, and therefore he should not make a new bracha. Furthermore, Rabbeinu Menayach writes, so just like the one who blows should not speak, so too those who listen should not speak, since he is fulfilling their obligations. The agent of a person is just like them, and it's as if the one who is listening is blowing. Therefore, he cannot speak because of that reason. When you continue to blow is only to confuse the antagonist, the Satan, as Rabbi Yitzchak says in Rosh Hashanah 16a. Rabbeinu Menayach understood this to mean like the Agos Maimonides. Rabbeinu Simcha obligates second blessing, even if you didn't, only if you didn't finish the set of 30 that before the silent prayer, because you have not fulfilled all your obligations. Maybe you didn't do the entire nine blasts that you required. Now, if he spoke after the blessing before the blowing, Rabbeinu Menayach admits that he goes back and makes a blessing. Only if he spoke and made him and separated not from the mitzvah, but if he spoke from the concept of a mitzvah, like he said, bring me a shofar, another shofar, because this shofar is possible, or he says, I cannot blow it, since it's a part of the mitzvah, he doesn't go ahead and blow it. We find this in Peirush HaMeir. If somebody made a brocha, he said, if somebody made a Moetzes, and he said, take and bless, or bring salt, since that is something that's necessary for the ability to be able to eat, you don't have to go and make a new brocha. It's found in brocha, Masechta Brochos 48. So too, by Peirush HaMitzvahs, he made a separation by speaking between the brocha to the mitzvah. Regarding the mitzvah itself, you don't have to go and repeat the blessing. But when you did by blessing on something you want to eat, you spoke to something it's not part of eating, like you said, bring me a napkin to blow my nose, so then you have to go back and make a blessing. Shulchan Aruch in 592 cites the Halacha, the one who blows before the silent Amidah, he blows during the actual either actual silent Amida or both the silent and the repetition. The Rama writes that's not an impediment. If he can't do it, somebody else can do it. According to the order of the brachos, the three middle brachos of kingdom, commemoration, and blowing. Mishnah Berurah writes that even he doesn't have to stand by the bima. If he's not, in other words, he doesn't have to be in front of the tzibur in a special place. He can do it from where he is. But the Gemara writes that the custom is that the blower stands on the bima. That you read the Torah, that's only prior to the silent Amida. But the key is that have to do with the repetition or the silent Amida. There's no obligation to do it from where he davens. However, today there are certain places that do divide up the blower, the people who blow it. One blows it before the Machon Nesher, one blows it during the silent Amida, and one blows it by the repetition. Mishnah Berurah writes in Rambam that even to begin with, one person can blow everything on the order of the brachos. That today it's permitted to do so, to let somebody else blow afterwards and say that brachos, even though the first one made the bracha on the Yoshev, because that's the accepted practice. The shlit tzibur doesn't blow. By Shofar right, the shlit tzibur doesn't blow, and he shouldn't become confused. If he knows he's going to return to the place that he was prepped before, he may blow. And Rambam writes that only on the order of the prayer it's forbidden for him to blow. But that which is done prior to Musaf, the shlit tzibur can blow. He adds, if the shlit tzibur doesn't blow before the Machon Nesher, it should be that person who blew should blow for the order of the blessings. Because you tell the person who began something to complete it. However, where the minig is to divide it up and give certainly the blowing before the silent Hamida to one person and the ones afterwards to others, or even if certain portions you separate, Malchi is for one blower, Zichron is for another one, Shev is for another one. Mishnah writes, everyone should do as his custom, because Yisrael are holy him, and they love the mitzvahs, and they give it out to other people. Now, if you spoke about Halacha, if someone spoke, it says in 592, one should not speak, not the person who's blowing, not the tzibur, between the time they made the bracha prior to the beginning of the blowing, and till after the repetition, because they're all one parcel. And the people who listen, it's as if they made the bracha. The Rambam writes that it's mutter to speak regarding the tkiyas. Let's say if somebody made a bad tkiyah, you can say, wait a minute, it's not kosher. Now, we find regarding the question of saying yirotzim between the tkiyas. In most machzorim, there are certain confessions that we make between the blowing of the shofars, and there Chaim, he writes, from the bracha till the end of the first batch of the 30 koilas, the 30 notes, one should not say even prayers. Therefore, you shouldn't say the yirotzim, which is printed in the machzorim by the before Machon Nesher, till after, meaning not after the first set, not after the second set, only after the third set, because you should not make a hachazaka in case the third set is the correct one, so the blessing is really on the third set, and otherwise you're saying something before you fulfilled your obligation. The Avitz in the Siddur, he's lenient, and he says even in a place that to do so, you don't admonish them. So this, therefore, it depends on the custom. There are many congregations, they say Yirotzim, maybe some just think it in their thoughts, and those who are lenient to say it, they have on who to rely, and you cannot admonish them for doing so. Now, if he spoke about things that are valueless between the time that he finished the first study to the repetition, he does not have to make a new bracha. That's what the Rambam writes. Before we explained, it's not the same as speaking between the hand, the tefillin of the hand and the tefillin of the head, that everyone would agree you have to make another bracha. Here, it's all one mitzvah. It's like somebody who spoke after he made a bracha on something, and he tasted something. He doesn't have to complete the whole thing that he's eating without speaking. Once he's begun, therefore he's in the middle of the process of eating. So it's all one suda. However, there are commentaries that say that if you speak between the shiurim to the Torah, even regarding the Tkiya, even though he doesn't have to make a new blessing, but still he didn't fulfill his obligation, he has to start off again. Whenever you start off again, you have to start from the long blast. As we learned, there's a question whether Torah and the Torah is either short blasts, wailing sounds, or both together. So if you separate it between the short blasts and the wailing sounds, you definitely have not completed a Torah, therefore you have to begin anew. Between the blessing and the blowing, it's simple to most poskim that he spoke from that which has to do with the tefillah and not for the shofar, that he has to go back and bless. What the Rambam writes, that the tefillah is not considered a separation, that's only between tkiya to tkiya. If he spoke between brocha to tkiya, it is a break, and not only does the one who blows may have to make a new blessing, but even if the one who's listening spoke between the brocha to the tkiya, one would have to go and make a blessing on his own, privately to himself. For example, if he had a child that he had a shush and he said something, so he would have to go and make his own bracha before he heard the tkiya.